Hey everybody, it's Shantizzy and it's Tizzy time. Y'all, I'm super excited for this episode specifically. My co-host is super dope and she has so much to talk about on this episode. I'm super excited about what we're going to discuss, but let me stop doing the talking and let me have my co-host introduce herself.
Thank you for having me. I'm Shawnti Refuge. I am a certified mental health coach, mental health advocate, keynote speaker, and author, and I help women to release, heal, and live their best lives with guided journaling.
I love that. I love the end to living our best life because, man, after the couple years we had with the pandemic and,
Yep.
now Trump back in office. No, I'm totally joking.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
So we have to get into that notion of being intentional. And I love, honestly, full transparency. I love how you have connected mental health and mental stigmas along with journaling,
Hmm.
because when I was growing up, journaling was like something you did. And it was, of course, like as far as I feel, very connected to like dainty girlies going forward and being the girls who like
Hmm.
to really be quiet and keep to themselves. So I love that journaling has become this thing for anybody and everybody. And now even shifting to the male area
Yeah.
as well, men
Yeah.
being intentional with journaling. So
Mhm.
just tell me a little bit about that and what that looks like nowadays.
Well, I know for me and what I provide, I do guided journaling, which is not regular journaling, opening up a notebook and just writing. I prefer journaling to prompts. So, because I have to be guided in everything I do. So,
Likewise,
I need you
entirely.
to tell
I
me
need a
what
prompt
to
or
do.
two
Yes,
for
that's what I
sure.
need. So
Yeah.
I created guided journals based off of my own mental health struggles that I had. Back in 2018, I was diagnosed with severe anxiety and depression, and I had a nervous breakdown. And instead of going on medication, I decided to, journal it out because I wanted to get to the root of my issues. Of course, back then I didn't think I had any issues, but from journaling, I learned that yes, girl, you got issues. So, it helped me to dig up a lot of things that I didn't, either I forgot about, didn't know was there. So, answering prompts, specific prompts help me to stay focused on one thing and not very often start talking about something else. You stick to the prompt and you start writing, and you'll be amazed at how things will come out when you're writing that you didn't even know you had inside of you. It just comes out in your writing.
I love that. And I love how you describe just going forward and being in a place where not only are you guided, but opening up yourself to not being used to your normal writing prompt or not feeling like you have to write 250 words and, you got everything off your chest. Really being able
Hmm.
to be open and being like, hey, if I'm here writing for 3 hours, then it's allowing me to, go forward and I guess put my practice into my theory into practice, excuse
Hmm.
me, and just go forward and make sure that I'm doing what's best for me, not only in a mental area, but physically too, because, writing often can also aid in any joint functions and,
Yes.
yeah, so I think that's amazing. I have a question for you, if that's okay.
Come on,
I know I
Ashley.
wanted it to be more conversational, but I definitely want to ask you a few questions because, yourself as an industry leader, I would love your, your feedback and your takeaway from what journaling can be as far as like this generation. And that's my question.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about, I guess, Gen Zers and, millennials in this day and age? How do you feel like they can kind of like push guided journaling into their routine? Or what advice would you give them, per se, to jump into that industry or that area?
First, I would say that, we all should be on this mission to learn and rediscover. You're never too old, never too young. You don't have any excuse to not want to be better than you were yesterday. And journaling, guided journaling helps you to be a better person because you get to discover yourself. You get to discover things about yourself you didn't even know. Or, you get to unpack some things that you've been holding on to and didn't want to tell anybody. So it's very therapeutic. It helps you to learn yourself. You think you know who you are, try journaling. It'll tell you who you are. It helps you to grow. So, I think everyone should incorporate it. But, you do have some people that's like, no, I don't need to do that. Or they think journaling is a homework assignment because there used to be one back in school. You know,
Very true.
yeah, and I hated it. I loved English class, but I hated the journaling part. So I get it, but it is totally different now. It's not like it was when you were in school. This is actually for you. by you. So you're answering questions about yourself. And this is your space to be open and honest with yourself. You don't have anything to prove to anybody, but you. As long as you're open and honest and not lying, then you're able to grow.
I love that. And I also love how you said, like, it's not like a school assignment. You don't
No.
have to be worried about, a word count or your teacher telling you it's not enough. And it
Yes.
just reminded me of my mom making me write when I was in trouble.
See?
And it's so funny, like, how writing is so necessary in our
Yes.
everyday lives, and people don't realize, ways that writing can really go forward and be therapeutic, can be, kind of recidivism in a way.
Yes.
So you don't go back to the
Yes.
bad behaviors.
When I was in
Um,
school, I used to stay writing lines, so I understand. I was bad in school. Yes, I was. So I
as
get
was
it.
I.
Yeah, I will not, whatever. I will not
Oh
do what
yeah.
I did,
And
and
you
I
better
still
not
did
do
it
it by
anyway.
line. My mom would be like, "Oh, if it looks uneven, you're gonna start over. I want
Yep,
it
I
written."
used to do that
So
times too. Yeah, and
I believe it.
yeah, and it's nothing like that. So, and that's called actually journal trauma.
Ah, oh my
Yeah,
gosh, we have a term for it.
it's a term for
I
it.
love
Yeah,
that.
it is. Girl, they got terms for everything around here. But journal trauma, that's what it is. Being traumatized by people making you journal. And this is
Yes,
something, this is a whole different thing. Nobody's going to make you do anything. You grown, if you want to fix yourself, heal yourself, then you write. And if not, then just stay broken and let it.
I like the way you said that. Like, if you really want to heal, heal. But if
Yeah.
not,
Nobody can fix you. Some
right.
people think that, oh, if I go to this person, they're going to fix me. No, then that nobody can fix you. You have to want it for yourself, and you have to do the work yourself.
It's very
Me as
true.
a mental health person, I'm not going to come in and fix your issue for you. I can't do that. You have to do it.
That's very true. And I would just like, just to piggyback off that question too, because we talked about healing. How would you feel like, because journaling and blogging and vlogging, they all kind of, well, you let me know if it could all cohort, but I know as far as like content creation and what's going on currently, planning through a journal, then of course executing through any content in a blog or a
Mhm.
vlog is very, omnipresent nowadays. But would you say like vlogging can also be a form of journaling? I guess just
Absolutely.
hopefully not posting your business, but say for example, doing similar to a platform
Yes.
like we're on right now, just oh wow, okay. Like,
Yes.
oh, you're vain. You want to see yourself vlog. So I didn't know
Yeah.
if it was
I mean,
sort
but
of helping.
who's gonna see your entries? Whether
It's true.
you video it or write it, there's different forms of journaling. You could write it. You could digital journaling. There's vlogging. There's voice messaging. So it's up to you and what feels comfortable to you. The goal is to get whatever it is you have inside of you to get it out. Because if we're holding on to our past baggage, you can't move forward.
It's very true. It's very true. It's super heavy. How are you going to hold all of these
Yeah,
bags? Some bags you
exactly.
got to let go. It's true. So how would you say like being intentional within, I guess, life, or intentional within what it is you want for yourself through growth, through journaling? Like, what's some advice you would give a person who either is journaling but is a beginner again, or someone who may be more so new to the journaling game, right? Went to Target and was like, I love this journal. I want to get it. What would you go forward and recommend they do before they start journaling, or while they're journaling as a beginner or a newbie?
As a beginner or a newbie first, pick your journal. Please don't. I know we judge books by the cover, but open up the journal and make sure that's, especially if you're doing a guided journal, make sure that's something you want to write about, because guided journals are specific. So you might pick up a journal about self-esteem or pick up a journal about self-love, and every prompt in there is going to be about that. So make sure that's what you're ready to talk about. When you're starting off, get a quiet space, find a quiet space, set the tone, set the mood. If you need a candle lit, if you need your glass of wine, find you a spot and make that your spot to journal if you can. Not everybody can. I have clients now that'll be like, I got kids and I don't have, time to go this here and no, you got time. If you got to go sit in your car
Absolutely.
5 minutes and journal, do that. If you got to go hide on the toilet and close the door, journal, do that. If you got to go in the closet, hide and do that. You make time for what you want to make time for. And I always say, if you got time to have sex, you got time to journal, because they both last about the same amount of time.
Ah, she's hilarious.
I'm serious. I'm so serious.
No, it's so true. But it's so true.
It
No, but
is.
literally, Oh my gosh, I love that. It kind of reminds me of the gym. Like if you could go to the, like if you can go smoke or go have sex, you could go to the gym.
Yeah, exactly. We make time
I
for
love that.
make time for it. And you should
I
really
love
make
that.
time for your mental health, especially
I
with
totally agree.
on it today. You want to make mental health your priority.
I agree. And I love how you said that. Like, open up your journal. Make sure it's a journal you are sure has the prompts you want to. Because it's true. If we're talking about self esteem all the time, after a while, I'm going to be super overwhelmed. I'm going to be in this place where I'm like, all right, the last 40 prompts was about how I feel, and the last 40 prompts is about me, wanting to lose weight, you know. But now I want to talk about where the internal struggle lies within why I haven't lost weight. And
Hmm.
I love how you included that. I think that's super important as well. Like, it could look great, but like you said, you should be judging a book by its cover. It could be cute, but what are we getting into
Exactly. It might be
besides
shit inside.
pink polka dots?
Yeah.
Right.
So,
My next question would be, how would you go forward and stigmatize mental health alongside journaling? Like, what, not more of a case study, but what would you say is like a way you have seen journaling improve in either yourself, a client, a family member who you may have recommended it to, excuse me. What would you say is like, what
mhm.
would be the thing that kind of gets these people started into realizing like journaling for you as an industry professional? What have you seen has jumped them into the hurdling? What words or actions or time frames or even, the security of the world, like what have you seen be that push for people to go forward and be like, all right, I need to start being in a mind frame where I'm doing what I need to do for me?
Because I tell my story and I tell it raw.
I
And
love
then I
that.
let them know if I could overcome what I went through, then I know you can. All with a guided journal. But, and you don't have to do it by yourself. I hold support groups as well. I always brag on my 73-year-old client. I have a 73-year-old client. When she
I
first,
love that.
yes, when she first came to me, she was a recluse. She stayed inside. She gave up all the stuff she loved. And I think I've been seeing her since maybe around the summertime. And she came to me last Wednesday in our support group and told me that she went swimming for the first time in 40 years. So
I love
was like,
that.
oh
Oh
my
my
God.
gosh.
I didn't know that she wasn't, doing things that she loves. She never said anything until Wednesday. And she said, I went swimming for the first time. I said, fuck it, I'm
I
getting
don't know why I just got so emotional. I love to hear that. Like,
yeah.
wow. I'm so sorry.
Shit, she made
It's
me cry
beautiful to
too,
hear.
shit. And I
Oh my
don't care.
gosh.
I'm a G. But I was like, oh my God. That made me
Wow.
feel so good because we journal. In my support groups, one-on-ones, we gonna journal. And I let them know up front, if you ain't into journaling, get the hell out of my class because that's what we're doing. But she was doing it. She was participating and she couldn't wait to tell me that she went swimming. And that just made my day. I was,
That would have made my entire like year.
yeah.
Like just to hear that and just to see how, you went forward and made sure to not only open her up to be comfortable enough to do that, but the fact that she wants to share that with you. Because a lot of people, like you said, may write in their journal, excuse me, write in their journal and say, hey, I did this for the first time. But to open up to someone else and say like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I think that's amazing.
Yep.
That's amazing. I
It
have a
is.
client who I have like a creative agency as well. So I work with
Mm-hmm.
small businesses and any deliverables they need. And I have a client who wants to start a nonprofit for women, just being empowering. And I would love to connect you with her. I think you guys would literally take it to this next level because
Let's
she wants to
get
just, yes, I'll send you over the info. But I just automatically thought about that. But oh my God, that's amazing. That's amazing. And
it is.
can I ask, because I am a shameless plug, so I have to ask Shanti, where can people find you? Where can people learn more? And how can they join, your mission? How can they journal and open up? Man, how can I join, and open up and really be able to get to the point of life where I'm doing things what I used to do and love to do, but also be so comfortable in myself that I'm able to share my day, not only with my journal, but with people who are proud of me and who want to see me be on this, increased level, please share. Please share where they can find you.
You can find me first. Go to my website, ShawntiRefuge.com. You will find everything that you need to know there, and go to. I'm everywhere. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. I'm everywhere, and I'm Shawnti Refuge Journal. I'm not hard to find, so I'm everywhere. And all it takes is one step. Your first step is to go to my website. I have free resources, and of course, I have paid resources. But I'm very open, and if people ask me a question, I always say, be ready for the answer, because you might not be ready for what I'm about to say, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
I
So
love that. And and it's so funny because I was talking to someone earlier today and I was like, it's cool to be, the image that everybody wants you to be, but to be real authentic and to be informal and not care, that's what pulls people in. Nobody wants to see a polished. We love to see it, of course. Don't get me wrong, but nobody wants to see a fake, let me put those words, a fake polished person who feels like they're exuding healing and healthiness, of course, and they're not. I would rather the person who's coming to me like, girl, God is amazing, but last week I almost caught a case.
yes, honey, because
Want to hear?
I had me a little mini meltdown last week. So,
Yeah,
and
all the time.
I share that. I share that all the time. I share the good, the bad, and the ugly, just so you can see that I am a real live human person. I'm not a robot. Even though I have come a long way in my healing journey, your healing journey is forever. It's lifelong.
So
There's no end
true.
point to it. So you're gonna have setbacks, and healing isn't linear. Some people think, oh, I'm gonna start healing and it's gonna be like this. No, it's not like, it's like more like this.
That reminds me of the exactly the meme where it's like first level sticks and stones, then you climb the mountain, it's sharp,
Yeah,
road to success.
that's what it is. That's
It's
exactly
so
what it
true.
is.
It's so true. And I love that you spoke on that too, because it's like a lot of people think, not even just younger people, but even older people, like, oh, I'm supposed to be this level, or I'm supposed to be here, or I'm confused on why my life is going the way it's going. And it's just like, mine is, of course, going to God first, being able
Right.
to really chronicle yourself and look in the mirror and take accountability. I don't think
That's it right
people
there.
realize how powerful that is. Like,
Yeah.
that's ultimate. Like, I watch a lot of anime, but that's very kami ka to me. Like, that's like
Yeah.
ultimate power up, ultimate. I am open with myself, and just even meeting you, just how you present. I mean, your aura is everything. I just see a confident, beautiful woman who, baby, even if I had a scar under my eye, you couldn't say anything to me about my imperfections, because I'm her. And I love that. I love seeing, especially one of us, but I love seeing our queens just exude that, because a lot of young girls need that. I was talking to my mom the other day, and I'm like, growing up, I was a plus size girly, still am a plus size girly, but we didn't have much influences. We had Queen Latifah, we had Nikki Parker, or Monique, for lack of a better term. We had some more. But of course, those were also the women who were painted as raunchy. Those were the women who were painted as vulgar and, different from the mold of what, say, for example, Gabrielle Union or Halle Berry were. And to be in a place where now we have everyday women, we have celebrity women, we have models, we have talk show hosts who are confident in their body and are able to
Yeah.
show us that I love that. And I just want to say thank you, Queen, for not only jumping on a podcast, but just being you. Thank you for being you and for being so confident and strong that our next generation of women, our current generation of women, and even our past generation of women can look up to and take on the advice or the strength you exude and use that for the strength they need to go forward and start maintaining. So I love
Absolutely.
that. I love
Thank
that. I
you.
love
Thank
that.
you. I owe it all to my God and my journals and my
Amen.
therapy.
And the type of victory for real.
Yes. Yes.
And people don't realize how much that. And I love that you said you're a mental health therapist as well too, right?
No, I'm not a
Oh,
therapist.
okay,
I
sorry.
am a certified coach, but I do have a therapist. Just because I have clients and I coach them, I still have my therapist.
Of course, and I love that you are open about that. I asked because
Yeah,
I'm not really sure about the MSWs and the CSF. I asked because I took a psychology class once, or anything that related to the brain one
that was
time, and I was like,
boring.
"Woo, too
Yeah,
complex. I'll do
yeah.
communication."
It was boring. Yeah, I took psychology. That shit boring.
See, you can say for me it was super hard. I'm glad it was boring for you. A real professional. Me, I'm like, yeah, what is the back of the brain again? Just the
Right?
anatomy. So
Yeah.
I love that, even that as well. Just being a black woman who's integrated into that industry as well. I get so excited seeing black coaches, black therapists, black psychologists, black, even for lack of better terms, let's say a lobotomist. I know they don't do lobotomies anymore, but just, of
Some
course,
people need
anything
it.
going forward and being that marker for black
Hmm.
women, women in STEM. I'm here for it because I know I
Yes.
wasn't a woman in STEM. I was more of the women in creativity, women in the arts.
I don't know where I was because I was hardly at school, but
Listen, I was hardly at school because I was just a lazy girl. I was like, I do not want to go here. I did my little classes. Like high
no,
school, I wasn't a big high school fan. College,
I
I was
used to
fine with,
skip.
but high
I used to
school,
skip, skip. I don't know how I graduated because I used to skip all the time, but it's another.
honestly, I just stopped going after a certain while. Like we had college and high school at the same time, but
Mm-hmm.
if I'm doing college 8 to 12, I'm done. I'm not coming to school for an hour to do
For high
Spanish.
school shit,
Yeah,
I
no,
know,
no. I'm in college, baby.
right? I feel you. I
Just
feel you.
just give me a C plus, like I'm
Right.
doing the homework,
I'll
but I'm
take
not
that.
coming to class. Um, so I love that. Oh, and that's a great segue. What advice would you give young women? Because college is one of those areas that is
Oh my
super
God.
trying,
Mhm.
not only on your mental but on your physical as well. College for me was a lot. I feel like I was my skinniest in college because I was stressed. But what advice would you give either young men as well, young men and young women in school or in college or any situation? My generation, the under 30ers. And it's sad because you look a lot younger than me, but we'll just leave that another day. Skin is glass, everybody. The skin is glass. What advice would you have for those, in that Gen Z, Gen Y generation who may feel like life is over or life is so overwhelming? I can't function. What advice would you have that, of course, resides with guided journaling that would be, a marker for them to start that journey?
Well, life is overwhelming and it's not going to get easier. It doesn't look like it anyway, but you are here for a reason. You're here for a purpose, and you have to make sure that you make time for self care. And when I say self care, I don't mean bubble baths. I don't mean nails and petties, and I don't mean that. I mean get a journal. Whether it's you writing in it 5 minutes a day, start off in the morning, 5 minutes, wake up 5 minutes earlier. And, you set the tone for your day like that. Do affirmations, meditate, journal. At some point, you don't have to do it every day. When you're first starting off, I would recommend that you do it every day. But if you don't have the time, you don't have the time. I get it, but like I said earlier, you make time for what you want to make time for. So before you go to that class, give yourself 5 minutes to get into you. Journal. I'm grateful for this. Gratitude is the best. Start your morning off with gratitude. I'm grateful for this because this. And you watch how your day changes. You can do it. It won't kill you to wake up 5 minutes early, I promise.
It really won't. It
It
really
won't.
won't. I feel like she said, it really won't, Shant.
And
Whoa.
I probably did. It won't. It will
I
not
felt
kill
it
you.
mentally. I was like Shawnti said, like the
Yeah.
meme,
It
like
was you.
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 I love that. No, it's so true. 5 minutes earlier will not kill anybody,
No.
but also that 5 minutes may be a precursor to your day. Taking those 5 minutes apart may have allowed you to be like, I took a minute. I was already frustrated because I jumped in the shower and it was cold or the water's off. And, so
Yeah.
I love that you said that. Yes. anything you would want to discuss or say, this is the time now. I'm open for any topics. But if you want to, of course, go forward and stay true to what it is we're discussing as far as journaling and being guided, we definitely can go forward and do that. But it's up to you. Like again, this is super conversational and we have the notion to go forward and talk about anything.
Open book. So anything you want to know, ask. Just be ready
Oh,
for the
yes. I love it. Okay. So it's going to be more current event savvy. It's not going to be
I
anything like, Shanti, where were you at 18? No, it's going to
said,
be
I
like,
tell you.
as far as it goes within this, I don't want to bring it up, but I'm going to bring it up. But the whole
Bring it up.
trial within the celebrities right now, Beyonce, Jay-Z, P. Diddy, as far as it goes within that, and we could even tie it into trauma that the victims may have felt. How do you feel like a situation similar to that, or any situation that may relate to that? How do you think one person could go forward through guided journaling and healing through notions like deep trauma, like something that, or that's a good question too. How would someone with like deep trauma, say, God forbid, they were kidnapped or they had a family member unalived in front of them, or may have lost a baby, or things of that nature, just like something, and I consider those all deep traumas, even stung by a
Yeah.
bee. But I'm just I'm being honest. But how would you go forward and navigate them into healing that trauma?
Well, anyone with deep trauma like that, I would recommend them go to a therapist. That's therapy stuff right there. But you can still journal. I was saying it earlier today that, it's okay to have a therapist and a coach. It's okay to do therapy and journal. As a matter of fact, if you go to a therapist and they don't have you journal, get another therapist. They should have you doing the work. If you're just sitting there talking once a week and not getting any further in your healing, then you're not healing, because they should be sending you home with homework, quote unquote homework, but it's journaling. And it's okay for people to go to therapy, especially people who look like us. Because I know I used to be a person that said that's white people shit. Black people don't go to therapy. Black people don't go. I used to think that way, and I used to feel that way.
Likewise, likewise,
So,
likewise.
but that is not true. And I have learned that it was just that I didn't see anyone around me who went or who talked to it. Because, we don't tell our business. We
I
don't
love
talk
that you
about
said that. I didn't
it.
see anybody around me that way. I love that.
If they
And
did
it's so
go,
true.
they
And they
wasn't
weren't
seen.
telling you, yup,
Yeah.
exactly. Such an issue to tell somebody you're trying to be better and try to get better mentally, or be in a place where you're healed and not everything is triggering you. That's so hard to tell. But we're going to talk about us going to the spot in the club. But that's my generation. I'm sorry, I'm projecting.
That's just your generation. That's all generations.
Oh
They
my
they
goodness.
still have some X's and Z's that do that too. So yeah, they do, because they are embarrassed, and you shouldn't feel embarrassed about wanting to be better.
Right.
Therapy is
I
there to
agree.
make you be better. Coaching is there to make you be a better person. And the only people that are offended by you going to a therapist or going to a coach is because it makes them look at themselves and they see they're not healing, they're not progressing. Because when you're going through your healing process, you're changing.
So
And
true.
somebody who's not healing with you, they're going to see that and it's going to offend them. And they ain't going to want you to continue your healing process. So, yeah.
My mind just said being in a place where you want to grow and somebody is uncomfortable with growth and you're around them growing, they're not going to want to see you grow. And then you're going to be in a mindset thinking that your growth is something else. And then you're going to stop trying to grow because you're trying to align with people who, wow, wow.
Yep. And whoever is listening, you better not. You better
You
not stop
better
your healing
not.
process. Yeah,
Like
don't
Apostle
stop
say.
your healing process
Hmm.
because your good girlfriend or your family members are against you healing. That don't have nothing to do with you. This healing process is for you, not for anybody else. And you will find out who's there for you. You will find out when you get in your healing process. People are gonna fall off. Family too, family, friends, they ain't gonna associate with you. Your friends ain't gonna talk to you no more because it's making them face something they don't want to face. So instead of them facing their truth, they just go, "Oh, she thinks she better than us. Oh, she didn't change." Yeah, you've changed. You're supposed to. That's why it's called healing. You don't want to go through life broken. Who wants to go through life broken?
It's so true. It's
Hmm?
so true. And I have to ask, where did the name Journal Bae come from? Because I love that. What is
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, it initially was supposed to be Journal Ho.
How do I end this call without being rude?
I'm serious because I was
No,
trying to
I love
think.
it.
I was trying to think of something catchy. So I said,
Right.
"Oh, I said, oh, babe." I was telling my wife, I said, "Oh, babe, I'm gonna name myself Journal Host." She's like, "No, you ain't. Please don't do that."
That's for wifey. She was like, "Hey, I see the vision, I see the branding, but think about Journal Bae."
No, I was gonna spell it Heaux.
Oh, like Heaux tails, right? Like very similar to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I thought we was gonna just be HO, which
No,
is
no, no, no.
too.
Come on now.
I mean, at least it's not HO. HO is better than HOE. HOE is like that's me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So no.
So
Like, well, what about Journal Bay? And she was like, okay, I like that. Then when I got my first few clients, I asked them what they thought about it, and it was like, yeah, I like Journal Bay. That's it right there,
they
Journal
were
Bay.
like, we're a
Okay,
little
well,
bit more comfy because Bae is like Bae, but O is like
yeah.
you for everybody. You can't be journaling with everybody.
Ah, yes, I can if they
So
pay.
he's like, it's a little more intimate. I gotta have that feeling like, all right, this is my Bae. My journal
Yes.
Bae. I love
And
that.
I call my community, I call them either by their name or I call them Bay. That's
I
another
love
reason.
that. People don't realize how much positive words and affirmations do for people too. Like if somebody's like, "Hey, Bae," I would love that. So I like to do Queen and Kings because I love to call, not only my elders but people my age too. Hey, Queen. Hey, King. Because a little formality might brighten up your day. So I love that you say Bae too, and it kind of gives like that comfort. Like
I want you to feel comfortable because
now,
this is
now look, Shanti. Now, mind you, it's like, "Hey, ho, how would that?"
hey, I'm
Hey,
glad
ho.
I did not go with that. I'm glad. I'm glad I listened to my wife.
I'm glad wifey was there too. Shout out to the wife. She saw the branding from all the way. She's like, we could
Yes.
do water bottles. We could do so much.
No, no, we're not doing that. And I
You,
was mad at her too,
of
but I'm
course.
glad I
Don't we
listened.
always get mad at our significant others for actually kind of leading us the way we're supposed to be? Aries Shanti, so I'm stubborn.
I'm an Aquarius, so
Oh
yeah.
my gosh, I love that. My sister is an Aquarius, and I love you guys. And I honestly, it's so crazy you mentioned that because I feel like you and your sign as well are the best people for your industry because she works in social services, so she aids in children. And I'm just like, the way you guys care for people, top
Yeah,
tier,
we are
top
humanitarians.
tier, top tier.
And
Now, when people do you wrong, though,
oh,
bottom
baby.
tier.
Yeah.
You
That's
guys
why
are ruthless, but I love it.
I don't like to show that side of me, but it's
But it
there.
takes time to get there, though. I'll,
Yeah,
I'll
it
be honest
does.
about that. You
It
don't just
does.
see me. I'll wake up, and if I can love you to death. But if you're getting
And
on my
choose
nerves,
violence.
back the f up. But you guys will wait for violence to have hit. Maybe like I won't play you guys and be like 30 times because you're not even letting it get past two. But what I'm
Yeah.
saying is you'll get to a point where you're like, I allowed you, and you guys are so calm about it. I allowed you to not piss me off, and you did it anyway. So now I'm gonna learn you.
That's when the wig and lashes come off then, baby.
Time. You guys are
Yeah, it
so
takes
like
time.
decorative and cool. You wouldn't even let nobody see your wig and lashes off. You would do it so quick,
Mm-mm.
boop, bop, 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 and put it back on, and nobody would know.
You'd be like,
You
damn, who
literally
is that?
Houdini. No, but literally, I love that. Wow, that's amazing. My favorite people are Aquarius. My mom is an Aquarius, and my sister is an Aquarius, and I love them. No, literally, you guys are heaven sent. I see
Yeah.
why you guys are the first of the early year and all of that. But it's our leaders of the zodiac or whatever. But
So you say, so you
so
say.
we say, true. But I love that. I love that. Shanti, thank you so much for speaking with me today. Okay,
You
I have to ask before we wrap up. I have a few
come
more
on,
things.
let's go.
Well, we're not just gonna wrap up like that.
Come on, let's
I have a
go.
few more things. So, like, just let me know, like, full transparency, because I didn't ask you your age because you never ask a lady. Okay, Auntie, how old are you?
47.
Witchcraft. Wow,
Skincare.
I love
Healing.
it.
This is what healing looks like.
Child, be on the healing hotline, right?
Yes, I will
Take
be
my
48
card,
in
people. Take my
February.
card. You look amazing. And I say
Thank
auntie out of the
you.
utmost love. What feedback or what advice would you give? What advice would you give, real raw and uncut, to your community, of course, to the kiddies, to me?
Never too late. Start where you are. If my 73-year-old client can make a decision that she wants to start healing at her age, I don't want to hear shit from nobody else because she has set the bar for y'all. When she told me how old she was, I almost died. I did not know that she was that age. There's no excuse. And, for the adults who are younger, you can only blame your parents for so much. Once you become a
Message.
certain age, you have to take ownership to your healing. You can't keep blaming your mama for what she did 35 years ago or 29 years ago or 20 years ago. You can't keep doing that. You're making excuses now, and you have to get out of your feelings and go get healed. Ain't no money in your feelings at all. So how can you move forward if you still back there blaming mama for knocking you upside the head? Whatever happened to you that was traumatic, you can't keep hanging on to those excuses. They become excuses, and people get tired of hearing that shit. Either you gonna heal or shut up.
That you said that, like, if you're going to keep complaining and, my mom hit me or this happened 8 years ago, you're never going to be in a place of healing because you're going to always be thinking of that moment. And I think that's sound advice because it's a lot of people who are on platforms still hurting, still healing. But do you think, say, for example, platforms like social media aid in that healing? Like if they're on there, detailing all their trauma with their audience, do you think that's okay? Perfect.
No, hell no. Social media, if anything, it makes it worse, makes people's situations worse because there's comparison, there's jealousy, there's all kind of, and most people don't understand that half of this shit is fake. Except for when you come to my page, that ain't fake. But a lot of this stuff is fake, and people only show you what they want you to see. That everybody doesn't show you the good, the bad, and the ugly like I do. There are some others that do, but not many. So when you're seeing all this glitz and glam, and her with her man, or her with her partner, or him with his partner, or whatever, the pictures look nice, but you don't know that 5 minutes before they slapped the shit out of each other, or they were just fighting, or you don't know that. You
I
only see what
promise
you can see.
you.
Yeah, so no, stay off social media. If you're trying to go through your healing process, stay, I used to be a fan of TMZ and
Mhm.
um what was that other one?
The
Cancel
shade room? Oh,
culture
okay.
and something else. Shade room.
Shade room, yeah.
I used to watch that and listen to it all the time. And you know what? That was when I was not healing. Once I decided to start healing, I quit watching that. I quit listening to it. I don't watch the news. I quit watching reality shows. I used to watch all the Real Housewives of whatever. And I
Shanti,
stopped
same.
watching it and I started feeling better. That shit
No,
is
literally me. I'm only on social media for when I have to work, but when I'm not at
me
work, I'm
too.
watching classic movies. I
Yeah.
feel like movies have put me, or I'm reading, and it's stuff I get back to when I used to love as a child, like reading,
Mm-hmm.
writing, watching movies, doing like, I just planted. So I'm hoping my babies grow.
What you
I,
planting?
I planted a little onion. I don't think it's the season for it, but in house,
No.
some basil and some dill. So I'm hoping to grow. I've been growing it. I never had the grower's thumb, so I'm just hoping maybe with age.
Baby, I ain't got no girl's thumb either. I be killing all my shit. I
I
killed the
don't know
succulent.
how either. It starts off so strong, Shanti, and then like
Me
midway, I'm
too.
like, is it because like the plant is in my breath? Am I talking
That's
too
what I
close?
said too, because I was talking to my. How do you kill a
Yes.
succulent? You can't kill a succulent. I killed a succulent. I don't know how I did it. And
This
I'm
is
like,
my
damn, do my
second
breath stink?
succulent, and if it dies, I'm done. Like I have a snake plant, and I just resoiled it because the soil started molding. How I don't know, but they say if it's too overwatered, it can mold, which
Mm.
shouldn't have been OD watering it, which I was. Watering it like once a week when it's supposed to be like once a month, every 2 weeks, something like that.
Well, mine died too.
Yeah,
So
but I don't want it to die if I'm not
I
watering it.
know,
It's like
right?
such a game of chess. If I don't water you, die. If I
You
overwater you,
right,
no median.
right.
Only
It's
you,
all or
yes
nothing.
or
No
no,
black,
not a
no
thing.
gray areas. Black or white. Yep, I get
It's
it.
so sad, and that's why I journal too, because sometimes things are gray, Chizzy. Sometimes things are
Mm-hmm.
gray. Sometimes it's not black or white. Sometimes it just may be gray. But before we conclude, I just want to give you this moment, of course, to give any promotion, talk about any upcoming things
Yeah.
you have going on. Drop your handle, of course, on social media. And yeah, like I definitely would love to have you as a guest again. I definitely would love to talk maybe during New Year, because New Year is, of course, the time for resolutions, the time
Yes.
for new growth. For some people. Some people
Yeah.
maintain the same. And I would love to talk about the under the table grape theory with you. I don't know if you believe that, but I would love to expand on that with you. But I'll definitely send you the link so we can meet up. And that would be a great episode. Talking about resolutions and how journaling could help.
And I'm glad you said that because I have a an event coming up. If
Ooh,
you
I'm
are
clap.
in the Houston area, I'm having an in-person event. It's called New Year Better Me, and we're gonna do it on January 11th of 2025. So 111, angel numbers, yeah, at
Yes.
11 o'clock, and we are going to let go of this old stuff and set goals and follow through with them. Like it ain't gonna just be one event. I'm checking in with you. Everybody who comes, I'm going to do periodic check ins. It's not like a one and done thing. Because once you encounter me, we go together for life.
That's amazing. So, guys, make sure if you're in the Houston area, I have a few friends in Houston. I'll definitely share with them as well. I
So,
think that's an amazing event. 111, you guys. Shawnti will be doing an event, and she will be going forward and making sure to check up on clients who come to this event.
anybody who purchases from me, it's not a one and done thing. I'm following up with you. Are you using that journal you bought from me? Where are you in it? Because I am very serious about people's healing. So if you came to me, don't do, and I tell people, if you're not going to use my journal, don't buy it.
Right.
I'm not hurting for
Because
money.
what are you buying for? Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. And I think that's like a common misconception with
Yeah.
creatives. I'm trying to help you.
Y'all visit my website. Go to ShawntiRefuge.com. I have all kind of stuff there. I have ebooks. I have free ebooks. I have my book I wrote, Quiet is Kept. That is my memoir. So it talks about my journey from A to Z on how, I go from childhood all the way up until I had the nervous breakdown. And it is very detailed, and you're going to cry, laugh, and get mad, all that stuff.
We didn't really get to unpack that, but talk about your story and your background. But I feel like that's what people got to pay for. We're not giving it to them
Yes.
for free. Support is free.
Exactly. It costs nothing, and there's someone out there who needs it. And there's someone out there who think they don't need it, but really do need it, So,
Exactly. And make sure you guys go to that website. Make sure, again, the 111 event, make sure if you're in Houston, you guys go check it out. And also stay tuned for everything else Shawnti has, going on in the future. 2025 is going to be a huge year. We're going to
yes.
also have her as a guest again next year. We love to, especially when we have such a good time on the podcast, we love to re-invite those guests and have another conversation with them, because I
I
really enjoyed our time. I didn't even think we
did
would
too.
get to an hour. And, like it's a lot of the
Oh,
times I
really?
jump on, not
Oh,
like
you
in a
thought I was
negative
going to
way.
be boring.
I love when it's authentic. It's a genuine vibe bouncing off each other. I don't even mind. Like, earlier I had a guest on too, and ours were supposed to be 45 minutes because she had to do another podcast. She has one too. We were on the phone an hour and 30 minutes in. I just love when I meet authentic souls and can really jump on a podcast with them. And I just thank you so much for jumping on with me, for also being flexible, and, for just being in Texas while I'm in New York and still being able to just have a conversation like we're right next to each other. I think that's amazing. And
Right.
I think I
It
love that
is.
connection. Yes, of course. Well, thank you so much, Shawnti, for for
Ew.
jumping on the podcast and having us as your co-host, much as you're our co-host. Oh my gosh, my mind is everywhere. But I want to thank you so much. And I'm really excited for our second chat. I'm really excited for your 111 event. I'm definitely going to try to come out because I will be in Georgia that time frame for the Great Atlanta Travel Show. My other business, I have a platform where I interview people. So that's why I was like, I may be out there because I would love to interview you and talk about your event too on my other platform. But
Oh.
we'll be in contact. We're gonna talk. This is not the last you've seen of Shawnti and Tizzy, so I'm excited.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you.